the bottom line is the world needs to start planning how to manage the risks of temperature overshoot. And there are not too many options there, but nevertheless, they have to be discussed. And obviously, the first one is to maximize as much as possible the emission reductions, because without that, everything will get a lot worse. But we also need to do adaptation, but in a much more strategic way linked to resilient development. And even if it has limits, we need to do as much as possible. But we still have a problem. And even the IPCC recognizes that when we do all that, we may still end up with an overshoot. And there is where social radiation modification may come into question. There would be benefits and risks if SRM were to be ever used. The potential benefit is obviously the reduction in temperature. And it could be to slow the increase, or it could be to reduce the actual increase, or reduce the time during which the temperature overshoot will occur. But there will be new risks. And the challenge that we face is that we have to look at this in a risk analysis framework. In other words, we have to look at which world will be better. A world that gets higher and higher in temperature and it has its risks, versus a world where solar radiation modification is used, and that will have its own risks and benefits. And one needs to compare these two and do that in a sustainable development framework, because it's not just about temperature. It's about broader societal goals that one needs to move forward. The bottom line is that not enough is known, neither about the science nor about the governance challenges that this new technique would result in. So we need some kind of co-evolution of research on the one hand and governance, work on governance on the other. And that's also something that the IPCC has made very clear. The governance gaps are big and not fully understood yet. And governance, we don't just mean action by governments, but we need action by a whole range of actors in society, including civil society organizations, academia, private sector,